hard to believe that as of today, 7 years have passed since a watershed moment changed the way we find killers and lock them up. 7 years ago today, the Golden State Killer was arrested for more than a dozen murders and more than 50 rapes. His crimes were committed between 1975 and 1986, but he evaded capture for decades. And that's where the watershed moment comes in. They caught Joseph DeAngelo using forensic genetic genealogy, something we now take for granted. The 72-year-old was a former cop, but his DNA and his family tree did him in. And he was the first major criminal caught this way.
I think it's been a surreal, whatever it is, 8 days or something to get to this. And I think for the people sitting next to me, all the victims and their family members, it was a day that they never thought would come. Well, what's been reported in the last couple of days is that essentially the way that the road that we got to Mr. DeAngelo was through using what I say two things. One, genealogy, and two, very dogged detective work in terms of using that genealogy and trying to find the path to him.
We needed a better sample of DNA, and so we continued surveillance and got a better sample of DNA that we were able to do a full profile on, and that full profile, of course, led to that 100% match.
I've listened to all your statements, each one of them. And I'm truly sorry to everyone I've hurt.
It was a sham. He was not remorseful. He failed to apologize to important people. He left devastation in his tracks. I can never forgive him.
Mr. DeAngelo, I've listened for the last 3 days from the people you've terrorized and their friends and their family. Their impact statement will always be with me. I was moved by their courage, their grace, their strength, all qualities you clearly lack. When a person commits monstrous acts, they need to be locked away where they can never harm another innocent person. It is my sincere hope that with the opportunity to be heard these last few days and the sentence to be imposed, the survivors will find some resolution, will find some peace, and hopefully find some justice, however imperfect.
DeAngelo is now serving 26 life sentences without the possibility of parole. And my next guest spoke at his sentencing. Jane Carson-Sandler was DeAngelo's fifth known victim, attacked on the morning of October 5th, 1976 in her own home. And what's particularly shocking about her attack is that her 3-year-old son was in bed beside her. DeAngelo bound and gagged and blindfolded both of them. And after taking the boy from the room, he raped Jane for hours and then fled. By the time he was shipped off to prison, Jane told a reporter that she felt that she too had served a life sentence. And Jane is now with me live. Jane, it's good to see you again. It's the second time that we've had a chance to talk. And listening to that monster saying that he was sorry, I also listened to the judge saying that he hoped that victims would have some resolution and some sense of justice. Is there any of that?
Any sense of justice? Well, right now he's in Corcoran prison in California, and he is in a special area where other prisoners can't get to him. So he's being treated quite well, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, certainly better than he would be if he weren't in segregated custody. Are things any different now, given it's 7 years to the day today that he was arrested and unmasked, and then the process certainly put him away for life? Are things any different for you now?
Well, in the sense that I don't have to look over my shoulder all the time. I still do some. I'm very cautious, but I'm not, looking over my shoulder all the time, just wondering, is he still alive? Is he going to come back? He said, if you report me, I'm going to come back and kill you. So I always, had those thoughts in my mind, but I'm so much at ease, much more at ease now that he's in prison where he belongs. One thing you just showed on your TV program was when he stood up during our when we gave our impact statements, and he said he was sorry. All of us just gasped, could not believe he would say such a thing. It's like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, we just wanted to throw up. Because every other time you see this guy, you know, he's always in a in a wheelchair, just looking for mercy, you know, oh, poor me. And then you can see him, they had videos of him in his cell room where he's doing all these calisthenics, running around and doing exercises. And so we knew he wasn't wheelchair bound, but to see him at the end stand up and say he's sorry, oh my God, I wish if we had tomatoes, we would have thrown them at him.
Yeah, I mean, a monster and a coward and a liar. I mean, every single adjective you can think of in the pejorative, you know, is fair game for him. Your son, 3 years old, it's so unbelievable to think that a predator could do this. Does your son have any memory of anything that happened?
He thinks that a doctor came into the room because, you know, we were gagged. We were blindfolded and we were tied up. So really that's all, you know, he remembers. Maybe if he was hypnotized, he'd come up with a lot more, but that's something I really never wanted him to be involved in. He never wanted to be part of anything to do with the story on DeAngelo. I think it was just because of the safety of his family. Because if he was still out there, you know, who knows what DeAngelo would do.
And he was a vengeful man. I mean, he would call victims and leave ghastly messages on their voicemails just to continue the terrorizing. Just an unbelievable story. Jane, it's nice to see you again after all these years, and I'm glad to see that you're doing well, and I really appreciate you joining me on this, sad anniversary, but also...
Are you going to be back on Crime Con?
I know what you're going to say, Crime Con, right?
Yeah,
I think so, yes, and I will probably see you again there. It was nice to see you there this year, and I'll probably see you again.
And I love your program. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. I love your book. Bye. Let me give a plug for it. It's called Frozen in Fear, A True Story of Surviving the Shadows of Death. Again, Frozen in Fear, A True Story of Surviving the Shadows of Death by Jane Carson-Sandler.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.